I have a first, so it started out, I knew a first cousin that was coming up from Texas. That's where he lives. We're very close, almost like brothers. He was coming up to visit, and when he had got here, he just said, "Come on, we're gonna go for a ride." And it was a really nice Mercedes that I was driving. I was the one driving. He was in the back seat, and I just basically hear him say, "Hey, we're gonna go rob this guy. We gotta go hit this guy." And I'm like, I couldn't talk. I wasn't really saying anything. I was just driving. So we're driving. We pick the guy up, and I know who he is. His name's John Bennett. And I mean, my cousin just starts beating the crap out of him in the back seat. But as we're driving and we pick the guy up, the car changes into another car. It was a smaller car, like a two door. I noticed that it changed, but it didn't really bother me because I was just driving. I couldn't really see out of the sides of my windows. I was just driving straight. Um, my cousin pretty much was just beating up on this guy really, really bad in the back seat. We get to this apartment complex, which is actually like right around the corner from my house. And we pull up to the apartment complex. It's not that same apartment, but it's in the exact spot. And we go up to the roof, and I didn't really see any apartment building or like individual apartments, or just we walked in the door and it was just steps straight up to the roof. And he was in front of me with the guy. I was behind him walking. We went up to the roof, and I just knew the guy thought that I was gonna hurt him. Um, so he turned around, but at that moment that he turned around, he turned into another one, a friend that I know. And I don't know if they know each other. They might, but my friend Franklin, he turned into Franklin, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I'm not gonna hurt you." Well, at that moment, there were two individuals, um, two black individuals that walked up the stairs, and at the door that we came out of from the stairs that were leading up, there was another door beside it that had stairs going down. And as soon as my friend Franklin, who had now turned from John to Franklin, he seen the two gentlemen. They walked in another door that was on the side, and that door was just stairways going down. There were two separate doors, one stair that led for stairs going up, the second door was for stairs going down. And he was Franklin was like, "Oh, really? Is that what this is?" And he's instructed my cousin to give him the gun that he had, and he gave him the gun, and he walked downstairs to this apartment, and he was talking to a gentleman. It wasn't the two black gentlemen that walked down the stairs, it was just somebody else. And I knew that he was holding a little girl's hand, and I was kind of like looking down from where I was at on the roof because the apartment window kind of sat, so I had to look down, kind of crouch down a little bit. And I could see the gentleman talking to the guy who was holding a little girl's hand, and he's like, "I'm not going to hurt her. Don't worry about that." And he killed the guy. He shot the guy. I don't know what happened to the little girl, but then there were two little girls laying down, and they were sleeping, but they were laying opposite directions, but they were laying next to each other. Um, they were both young. One was probably like 11, the other one was probably like 8 or 7. And he walked right up to the little girl who was wearing a black sweat outfit, who was the younger one, and he shot her in her ear to where you could just see the blood coming out of her ear. And then and then he went to the other girl who was wearing a gray sweatsuit, and I didn't see how he shot her. I just knew that he shot her, and I could see her face, her reaction, and it was just her eyeballs and her teeth that I could see, and it was just the pure shock. And so my cousin left after I seen that. He just went back to Texas. I already knew. I didn't see him leave or anything. I just knew that he was there in Texas. And I was back at my house. Um, well, actually, I was back at my mother's house, and I remember a black matted out like Dodge Challenger pulled up with tinted windows, and it was the guy Franklin that we robbed. And he was wearing a turquoise polo, and I was just like, Mom, whatever you do, don't open the door. Just continue to work, like you're doing working from home, and just don't open the door. Just keep working. And that was pretty much it. I woke up.